these guys took it upon themselves to help me out and befriend me and all this stuff. So I'll never forget that because they made me feel very accepted for being kind of a weirdo as well, because I got a weird personality. I can't help it.
That's kind of the beauty of wrestling, though. I've always thought, where you can have people from so many different walks of life. And I remember talking to someone years ago about it. And what they brought up to me was, there was a group, maybe 4 people, right? And you had someone who's like a big kind of gamer, comic book kind of nerdy guy. And then you had someone who's like a jock football player. And then you had someone else who was like really into metal. And you're like looking at these 3 people and you're like, in what walk of life would they normally be so bonded and so close where they hang out 3 or 4 times a week? Because they're completely different personalities. But because of wrestling, they were, you can't see me because I'm not on camera, but I'm crossing my fingers. They were like this, you know what I mean? They were
Yeah.
tight, and you wouldn't normally see that kind of bonding because they're just such different personalities. And that's what wrestling does. It brings people together.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird little environments. I never went to college, but I assume it's kind of like college where you're away from home and you're learning a brand new world with people and you're thrown together just because you happen to be in the same place at the same time and might have the same interests. It's a little thing of misfit toys, but it's we all got into it because we were fans. For the most part, anybody that gets into this is stupid in the aspect where like, you know what I'd love to do for a living? That. And then you get it and you're like, this is ridiculous. I'm in pain. I'm not getting enough sleep. The travel, the this, that, and the other thing. And you're like, oh, I always remind myself right now whenever I get stressed about things where I'm like, Kyle from 5 years ago would love knowing that this is where you are right now.
That's a great attitude, a great mindset. It's one of those things where either you love it or you'll learn to love it, because if you don't, you're probably not going to want to stick around very long.
I think the most important thing in any relationship is to be realistic, live on reality's terms. And there's good things and bad things in every relationship, and relationships are everywhere from friendships to, romantic interludes to jobs and careers. And my relationship with professional wrestling is, damn, is it abusive? But when it loves me, it feels so good.
Yeah, it's like people describe wrestling and it sounds so toxic. You know what I mean?
it's it's just it takes a lot, and also being a guy who helps run a company and is on camera talent is I'm on 24/7, and it takes a lot of work life balance. I don't know the wrestling aspect of it as much because again I was never successful at the wrestling aspect of it. I mean, I have friends that will work 5 shows a week, and meanwhile, in my head, I just go to like, I couldn't imagine having to plan 5 shows a week. Ugh, the logistics and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the physical grind and then there's the emotional. And I know the emotional grind. The physical, I don't know how a lot of people can do that because my neck's messed up. My shoulders are dislocated. I've got a bad knee and everything like that. But still, I know people that are going strong after 20 years and they're still healthy as all hell. Crazy.